Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the WCW Saturday Night Review series. We've got about 10 or so of these left before we need to move on to another program. I think I'm going to do some WCW Worldwide stuff as well, as I found a good bit of those, at least 50 of those or thereabouts. Anyway, we opened this particular program with highlights of a Randy Savage promo from the previous week. Arn Anderson is also out and basically trying to go after the return of the television championship, among other things. Also, Anderson continues to kind of try to move himself forward career-wise through the advancement of the stud stable, and Arn Anderson certainly wants to be part of that. Manny Fernandez and Alex Wright are up first. Also, this is an abridged version of the program, only running about 44 minutes. Manny Fernandez and Alex Wright is an interesting clash of styles, to say the very least. Hernandez going to work on the arm of his opponent, and ultimately we see Wright come back with a spinning leg kick, among other offensive maneuvers that are pretty simplistic, but at the same time, Wright ends up going to the top, getting a top rope drop kick, and a roll through, and a victory. So we move to another match, and that is Sting versus Dick Slater. Match is about as entertaining as one would imagine. Sting cleans house on Slater. Sting, in this point in 95, kind of a little bit lagging behind. To think that they're literally about 3 or 4 months away from the start of Nitro. Certainly not a time that one would expect to be a pretty big thing here because of the angles that are kind of there. Slater goes to the outside, managed by Colonel Rob Parker and Ming along the way. Sting goes to the outside, comes back in, several arm drags and bunches of other situations at the end of the day, and then Sting manages a Stinger Splash and Scorpion Deathlock along the way. This is also a confrontation between Sting and Ming, no pun intended on the rhyming, as they are headed to the Great American Bash, wherein the wherein the process is there. The Scorpion Deathlock not the cause of the loss. An errant kick from Ming, meant for Sting, but hitting Slater is what causes the problem. Hype for the Great American Bash up next, and then we see the Renegade, Rick Wilson, who later ended his life in the early 2000s or late 90s. He is the Ultimate Warrior ripoff, imposter type of situation. Red and yellow on him, and I guess there was an attempt to get the Warrior earlier in that year, and it doesn't go very well. Basic things: backdrop, press slam, power slam, and the win for the Renegade, who is managed by Jimmy Hart. Again, we see Dungeon of Doom with the Master, aka Curtis Iakea, talking about the destruction of Hulkamania and the destruction of the wonder that is Hulk Hogan. And then we go on to another enhancement match. This one is the Harlem Heat versus Mike Cloy and Scott Moore, or Scott D'Amore, who is obviously of WCW and current TNA fame. Harlem Heat, multi-time tag team champions already by this point. Punch kick, axe kick by Booker T. Booker T obviously also hitting the spinning forearm and other things. Booker T certainly one of the better athletes at the time in WCW, but it takes a couple of years for them to figure that out. Harlem Hangover and a win for Harlem Heat alongside Sister Sherry at this point, and we go to a promise that they will regain the tag team championships. Plugs for the main event going there. The match between Ric Flair and Randy Savage, which is going into the main event segment, but also a brawl where they go brawling to the outside of the building, among other things, and they brawl all the way around. Match never really happens. Match actually happens at the Great American Bash same year, and that is the flirtation that Flair has with Liz and trying to attack Randy Savage's father. Flair hops in a limousine and runs away from the confrontation. Good backstage brawl for the time. Also, we see Colonel Robert Parker basically endorsing the fact that he has, in fact, a crush on Sister Sherry. And then we close for this particular program. We'll be back with more right after this.